Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unscripted Dad Life. This is Kevin, joined again by the bearded Justin, the beautiful hair John. That's your intro.
Not exactly the intro I expected.
Oh, it's the intro. It's like Batman. It's not the intro you needed or expected, but it's the intro you needed.
Well, there were no lies.
I think you got
in it either.
That's true.
Is Batman
I have
alive?
beautiful hair.
Oh,
That's true.
That is true.
You did have a beard.
yeah.
Was that my phone? I should probably mute
that was
that.
me, sorry.
That was me, dude.
So how was everybody?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? I know for me, I'm a little sleepy, but I don't want to always start first. That's kind of selfish.
I think it's selfish.
So would one of you guys like to start? I mean, maybe you have a fan. We are now excitingly international, and I'm pumped about that. So I
guess, yeah, that would be the thing that I want to start out with before I get into...
Team John, Team Justin, or Team Kevin?
I'm Team Justin.
I'll be Team Justin.
The podcast just got released last week, and we've gotten overwhelming encouragement and support from you all.
Yeah,
so thank you so much. It's been fun doing this, and I want to keep doing it. And with you continuously listening, and hopefully more people listening, we can continue to do our thing. So thank you again, everybody who reached out personally that I know, and through other channels. I just cannot overstate how much I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Yep, and to kind of caveat on that too, I really do appreciate it. It lifted me up seeing those messages, we getting the screenshots. I mean, honestly, that's kind of why we were doing this. We wanted to be able to reach out about outside of our own walls, have everybody else listen, kind of maybe bring them some entertainment, because the world really does need that. We're not here to tell you how to live or give you advice on what to do, what not to do. It's just what we've gone through. Hopefully that resonates with some of you. It seems like it has. We absolutely love hearing that. We want to hear more of it. But thank you guys for reaching out. There's definitely ways to support us. This is the best way. Just, keep giving us that good feedback. Spread the word, help us get out there. That's the best way to do it. So thank every single one of you. It really does mean the world.
Thanks again to Kevin's mom. Appreciate it.
What did my mom do?
I don't know. She's a listener. She's a fan, and I appreciate it. I don't have any fans.
Yeah, she did listen to the first 4 episodes.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
So yeah, she is a listener, so that's not wrong. But I think more than my mom listened to it. There's 100.
I expected you to take that as a funny thing. I'm sorry.
Well, we're recording this on a Monday because we have prior engagements.
That's
so
true.
It's still pretty close to the weekend. What did everybody do this weekend?
I was thinking about this. I didn't have much to say about the previous weekend, and we had we're back so quick, but I had so much going on this weekend. I think I told both of y'all about Friday. We had a freak hailstorm in Allen.
Oh yeah, baseball sized hail.
Yeah,
and we had blue skies here.
Yeah, apparently everywhere around that 5-mile radius, we came out of the Whole Foods and the sirens were going off. So we threw our stuff in the car and ran back in the building. They ushered us to the back, and while we were back there, we got to listen to the hail just destroy our cars. We're probably back there for 5 or 10 minutes, and then when they finally gave us the signal everything was cool, we would go back out to the car and we just kind of laugh it off. No big deal. Didn't seem to be any issue. We start driving around the parking lot, and I notice there's this small crack in the passenger side windshield. Just a little thing, just enough for us to go, oh, that sucks. I thought we got through it. But then next stop, we went over to Target, and as we're driving through the Target parking lot, my daughter counts 15 cars with the back windshield busted out,
Whoa.
Completely. Yeah, they're either totally busted out or look like meteor hits went straight through. There's 15 little holes, and then so I go into the store and get what I need to get, and I'm telling people, and I heard one lady at the front. She goes, "Oh, can I just do a prayer dance real quick? Thank you, Jesus." So everybody laughs and goes, "Her car must be okay." And
Thanks for messing up everybody else's car.
Yeah. What was great about it, though, is going in Target from the parking lot, knowing the damage that had been done, and then knowing that I'd been stuck in the back of another place for a little bit, and then walking through and seeing these people just kind of bebopping around the Target and looking at all the clothes and just having a good time. I'm they're going to have the worst day when they get back out to their car. But I go back out to my car, and I see the passenger doors open, and my wife is walking around the car taking pictures. There's hail damage all across the top, the hood, one side of the car.
You just got your car back from repair, right?
It's been in the shop for 2 months. We just got it back about 2 weeks ago.
Fantastic.
And so apparently at some point we're going to have an appraiser come out and look.
I remember when I first learned how to drive too.
What?
I was having a damaged car, just getting it back, damaged again, getting it back, damaged again. That was a dig on you. I know I missed it, but
I'm a very driver.
I'm very tired. Both of my kids are sick right now.
Yeah.
They've been throwing up, and it grossed me out. So a little bit of funny story. I have a very weak stomach when it comes to that. Have you guys ever seen Four Christmases, the movie with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon?
I haven't.
So there's certain scenes in there where like the baby throws up and Vince Vaughn is just like he can't handle it. That's me. So anybody who's seen that, you already know how I am. And we're sitting there.
Somebody's dying laughing.
Oh
right now.
yeah, and we're sitting there, and I can't even hold on. Anyway, so he starts doing his thing over there, and I'm grossed out. My wife is catching it in her bare hand.
Oh no, no.
Sorry.
Wait, are you trying to avoid saying your kids'
So,
names?
yeah, I don't know. So, who knows? I don't even know if I said it. I probably did.
Wait,
so,
trying to catch it with her hands.
with her hands, and then there's a bowl, and then I'm trying to keep the other one out of it and getting him in the living room, and then it was a nightmare for me because I'm getting yelled at to help my wife. I'm trying to get the other kid. The dog's losing her stuff. He's over here just fountaining, and it's just the grossest thing I've ever done.
I just want to reiterate that
it was terrible.
Kevin's kids are 2 years old and not college students.
No.
However, everything you're telling me reminds me of parties that I went to in Quentin. So
I've been there too, but it was so they're 6. We didn't sleep real well last night because they were again up and throwing up in the bed. It was just like literally right next to me.
how have they been doing through the day today?
Very coffee, very sleepy, clingy, which has been nice because they haven't really wanted to cuddle for like a year.
Aw.
Which I know is I know it sounds weird, but when you're a parent and you haven't had that and like you miss it, it's the weirdest thing. I love it when they just want to lay down. And I had a great picture of the little one where I asked him how he was, and he just looks at me like, just F off, Dad. Like, don't even talk to me right now. And
I don't have any guts left.
Yeah, and it was awesome. My wife is a trooper, love her to death. Thank goodness I have her because I just couldn't. She basically, when they got sick, she had 3 babies to take care of because I'm trying not to lose it. Dogs going, it was a madhouse for a good minute, and she's just over here barehanding, lived the entire house by herself. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
kudos to her because I don't know.
Cheers to her.
Yeah, that was my weekend.
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Yeah, I did
hope
have
they
a
start feeling
really
better
good
soon.
nap during lunch today though, and it was fantastic.
At the office?
Oh no, I came home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just love to find out you're in the server room just like upside down and trying to cram yourself in there.
What, you trying to say I'm a vampire?
No, I'm trying to say it's a small room.
Is it because I glow in the dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, my week was fantastic. I mean, it was probably way better than either of yours.
Yeah.
Cool. Tell us about it.
Why don't you rub it in?
Nobody got sick. No cars got destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, but so start off with those 2 things. I volunteered to chaperone a field trip, and we went to the zoo. And
You can talk. It's okay.
oh well, you weren't saying that.
You're 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I volunteered to chaperone a field trip to the zoo for my middle son, and I had to meet him out there. And I got my sheet that says who I'm in charge of, like all the kids I'm in charge of. I literally just have my son. Apparently, he told his teacher that he just wanted a solo trip with just me and him.
Aww.
So like he could have picked his friends and everything. He's like, no, I just want to hang out with my dad.
That's awesome.
And
Nice.
I think my heart grew 2 times the size that day. So we spent the day at the zoo. We
should make a movie about that.
he got Dippin' Dots because I'm comfortable with paying for ice cream for him, but not for 5 kids.
Yeah.
And we got to have lunch at the cafeteria again because I can pay for him, but not 5 additional kids. So it was really
he
fun.
had a VIP trip.
Yeah, he had a VIP trip,
Hell yeah.
and I just
That's
kind of
awesome.
let him go wherever he wanted. I let him be the leader, and I followed him around, and it was kind of a say yes to everything day because it was cool. It was a bonus day for just me and him. And all throughout the day when we were walking, he'd just stop and hug me and goes, you know what? I keep saying this, but this has really been the best day. And I was like, aw, well, thanks, buddy.
Was it hard for you to sob in front of those other grown-ups?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I wore sunglasses. So, so I could hide those. But then when we got back, I was able to check him out early. So I did that. We went and got ice cream and talked about our day together. So it was really awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I have it when I was at
What do you do?
Huh? Well, I think I was
if you did something wrong,
7th grade. We had been studying the rainforest, and then this group of scientists that created a little robot that was going to do some discovery thing. I barely remember what it was. They called it Jason and the Argonauts. But we studied about it. And I went home and I told my dad every day all about it. I was like real excited. We had a field trip at the end of the month where we were going to go to like the science place in Dallas. And we didn't, I don't remember chaperones or anything like that, but my dad was always like a hard worker. You heard me talk about my dad many times. A hard working dude, never had time for a lot of things. Time magazine, yada yada. And we went to the thing to go see the presentation about Jason and the Argonauts and all that. And I remember we were in this dark room watching the thing, and the door opened, so all this light shone in. And there's my dad's head. Hey, I just want to make sure you're doing okay. And then he ran off. He didn't like spend the day with me. He didn't spend any time with me. He was like, he came all the fucking way down here just to hang out with me. That's the shit. That's awesome.
But he didn't hang out with you.
Well, he didn't have time. He had to go back to work. But still, like that little bit. I'm 41. It still like gets my heart. So yeah,
that's cool.
Your boy's gonna be like, that's
yeah. No, I really feel like he thinks like that anyway. So
fuck you.
No, I'm just surrounded by people I love all the time. It's all.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and then you come here.
No, but really, that's cool because, like, for me, I'm so jaded. That would be a core memory for me. Like, really, you showed up.
Oh, I can tell that's what you said.
10 seconds, and then you leave. Like, oh, how lucky for me. Like, that's the way that would be a core memory for me in that way.
He carved time out of his busy day, and then he handed me a magazine at the end of the day. So.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have an envelope today?
So, funny story. Yes, but the what is it? The envelope of doom, or what are we calling the whatever it is this week?
I've just been calling it the envelope.
Let's just call it the envelope, but like put like the envelope, like a little bit of drama on it.
What,
with the Inception gong.
Yeah,
that's what we'll do in season 2. In season 2, we'll give it its own entrance music. Yes. So when it comes out, it's like something crazy, like
in a world.
Yeah,
I got a better idea.
In a world where paper is folded,
let's just
and glued.
Let's just give it a guy's name, Brandon or something. Open Brandon. And
all right. So what's the deal with the envelope?
So we were dealing with the kids. So we do have the question, but it did not get written down and put in the envelope.
Yes, because your wife has been busy.
Yeah. So I want you to imagine in your head.
Okay.
That I'm opening the envelope. For the listeners at home, it's going to be very easy because you don't have to do anything different. But for you guys in front of me, the question is. It looks like it's coming. I don't know. She didn't give me a name again, but this is going to be a harder one for me because it's really far away. Once your kids turn 18, would you charge them rent to stay in your house?
No. Let me start this one. I've got a whole lot of feelings about this.
All right.
one.
I saw an article about this recently, so it's been on my mind.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
like yesterday.
So one, to tie it back to our previous episode, you want to leave your kids a better place for them to grow up in. I turned 16, got my first job at a drugstore, being a cashier, making like $5 an hour, and it took my mom a month before she started charging me rent at 16.
Just because you were bringing in income?
Yes.
Yeah, 16 is way too young.
And it would be one thing if she was like, hey, I'm gonna save up this money for you, and at the end of the year, we'll I'll match it and buy, help you buy a car or something like that. No. This was like straight up money just for like smokes, groceries, stuff like that. Like I didn't like that. That money was just gone to me. So I have very strong feelings. Even 18. Again, I'm 40 right now, but my kids can live with me as long as they need to. Those doors won't ever be closed. No matter what. And I can't support them. Like if I really, really needed it, like if there was just simply no other way and that was the only way we could scrape by, sure, but it would have to be dire circumstances. It's definitely none of this, you turned 18, you're a grown up now, time to start paying rent. Like, no, that's not okay. It would be a very long talk into like how to save your money. Mm-hmm. I'm big on money management, so I'd want to like have a discussion with them. But no, that's their money. They have no business paying anything to me.
Are you totally against the alternate route you're talking about where, I'll take your rent money at 18, I think is the good age for that. But like, I'll take your money, but I'm going to hold it over here. And when it's time for you to go, you can take that and do what you need with it.
I think that would be a smart thing to do. However, I would want to teach them the ways of like a checking and a savings account.
Yeah.
to where they do that themselves, stuff like that. But I've obviously got some trauma from that, so I'm just like, I'm a hard no on that one. I will absolutely not do that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
How about you, Justin?
I'm on the fence about it. I like the idea of holding on to the cash and giving it back to them when it's time for them to go. I don't like the idea. Like when you were talking about your mom buying smokes with your money, there's like an added layer to that I don't know if you experienced.
Oh, it's insulting.
Well, not just that. Cigarettes in particular, and like shitty habits, health-wise.
Oh yeah.
They weigh on kids. My mom and my sister live together, and I'm hesitant to talk about this too much, but
don't get into it if you don't want to, man.
well, but it's kind of relevant. My mom will ask us to go pick her up cigarettes. She's paying for it. It's just a matter of going to get it for her. But me and my sister both are kind of like, no, I don't want to fucking contribute to your bad habits that when you die, I go, yeah, I bought you cigarettes when your lungs were hardly working. Like, especially after my dad passing.
Right.
But so I don't know if you feel the same way about your mom's health and how she cares for herself.
Not necessarily. At the time she was smoking, she stopped smoking about the same time that I stopped smoking. So we kind of went through that route together.
Oh, that's cool.
But
that's an interesting bonding experience.
yeah. Hey, we're both on edge and like living in the same spot while quitting a very addictive substance.
There you go. That's
not a recipe for disaster at all. But no, for me, it was just like, I know that you are spending my money that I'm either trying to save, like I didn't have a car, so she would have to drive me to work. Like, what is how am I supposed to save up to do how do you want me to get out of the house if I'm having to pay to live here? And there was always this sort of guilt factor because I have two younger siblings, right? And the way it was given to me is that like, well, you're the man of the house now. Like we have to take care of and I'm like, basically, I forget what my therapist. I'm gonna bring this up again, and I hate to sound like broken record. I forget what my therapist called it, but basically, I was placed as the new head of household.
Yeah.
After my mom divorced, and so I was expected to do things well beyond my years. I mean, again, 16. What were you guys doing when you were 16?
Working.
having a good time.
Working, having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a loaded question. I was working.
I was working at 16.
I was also getting into hockey. And so if it wasn't for hockey, I would never have gone to high school. So I was doing enough in high school to stay relevant, to be active on the roster.
Okay.
And that's what I was doing. So I was going half the time maybe to high school.
So you're skating by, literally, figuratively.
Yeah, just so I could stay on the roster and play hockey. Yeah,
right.
Literally. Yeah.
But my point is that
yeah, see what you did. Yeah. See, dad jokes are not bad jokes.
But my point is you were doing something that you enjoyed.
I do.
Right?
Hockey.
I was literally working to pay rent in a house that I'd lived in for years already.
And that's when you were working at Eckerd's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is now CBS for our younger listeners.
Yeah, sorry.
If we have any of those.
Not yet.
But no, okay.
No, well, we
But
had a couple.
It's a drugstore where you can, buy your essentials or whatever. And I was a cashier making $5 an hour.
I only say that in
Nice.
respect of 16-year-old working at a place like that. You're not like contributing to the household.
No.
Insane
Right.
thing to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, so I feel like there is a good lesson for a kid to have to contribute in that way. Mm-hmm. That's why I like the idea of like putting the money off to the side so they can get it back. At least they're getting the lesson out of it and they get their money back. That's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah.
But I agree with you totally. Like my kid will always have sanctuary at my house. Whatever they need, I'm there for them. I've heard so many dumb reasons for parents to let their kids. I'm curious because
Yeah. So
I'm arms wide open. I'm Scott Stapp here. I'm whatever they need.
I'm on the fence too, but to an extent.
Okay.
Like if they've got a decent paying job and you can tell that they're just living in your house for free rent, yeah, okay, you're going to pay rent. Yes, I'm going to put it to the side. I'm not going to tell them. I'm putting it in a savings account to give it to them later. But if they've got like a decent paying job and they're just living with us to not have to pay rent, then they're going to pay rent.
Okay.
But if they are struggling and they're on their own, they're trying hard, and that's what a parent is for, is to be there. At least in my opinion, it's to help them out. So if they're struggling, they can't make it on their own. Yeah, coming back. Like the door's going to be open. No matter what happens, our doors are always going to be open for our kids, no matter what. But
So what is
as long as they're
then? Because that's a pretty nebulous
for us. It's
word.
with like let's take inflation right now, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it's hard to pay for anything. If you're out there working, you're running out of money because inflation is kicking your butt and you can't afford rent, that's different. Yes. Come home, get back on your feet, get back out there and try again. But if you're out there and like, oh, I don't like this job, I'm going to quit. Okay. Well, now you're just, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to figure it out.
I quit
That's
a job
one
because
thing.
I didn't like it.
But I mean, like, it's different when you're an adult compared to a kid. Like, if you're just doing it because it's not a cool job,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, dude, like, let's figure out your life. But
I think
not until, like, if they're in high school, then no, they're not going to pay rent. Like, save up for your car because I'm not going to buy you one. Like, you're going to have to work for what you want. Just like we did. I'm not going to take that away from my kids and let them be spoiled. But when they turn 18 and they're just like, oh, I'm going to be here. Like, you make enough to pay rent and you're just hanging at mom and dad's playing games and going to work. Okay, then yeah, there's a limit to the kindness. Like,
Sure.
you do need to learn how to live on your own.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll still keep the money. Like, I'm not going to go and spend it on dumb shit. Like, I'm going to put it in the savings when they're ready to move out. Like, okay, here you go. Here's all the money back. Like, yeah, it'll piss them off, but I don't care.
Right.
Like, they have to have that tough love to survive in the world. Like, you can't just call, like, I don't know.
I think you can mitigate the pissing them off though, because I think it's a matter of like just setting expectations early on. I think if they come home and you're like, yeah, a place to stay, and then 6 months later you're like, well, this is too long, and then you start charging them rent.
Well, no,
versus them coming home and going, look, you can come back. I'll let you hang out for 3 months till you get your shit together, but after that, we gotta start thinking and then press it. I've helped
you
people
gotta
out before. I've loaned people money before, and I've said I'll continue doing this as long as I need to. But at some point, there's going to be a turn where we've got to talk about what comes next. So you can't expect this for the rest of forever. But no, I've heard of a lot of moms and dads that just hard ass, just shitty people to their kids, and then I don't think that breeds anything but their kids being resentful later on.
Yeah.
Teach a lesson and be kind or get out of the way. Like, don't let them stay. You know, I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know. See, for me, it's different because kind of a part two of that question is for me, that's 16 years.
Oh,
away.
There's a whole lot that
like,
could change.
I'm like, I don't even want them to be not one right now, but you guys, it's coming up pretty effing quick for you guys, right? Like, you're a couple of years away. I know that frightens a little bit because your daughter's about to be a teenager, and that scares me because my boys, when they get to that age, like, I'm going to teach them. I want them to be respectful and all that, but it's teenagers, so that's one scary thing. We'll talk about that. But and then you're coming up real close too, right? Because yours are
11 and 9.
Yeah, so it's closer for you guys than it is for me. So it's interesting to see your questions compared to mine because I'm like, I'm on the fence, but who knows? In 10 years, it might be different.
Yeah. So well, there's obviously like the different ways we were brought up too. Like, I'm very strongly opposed to that. Where I think Justin is opposed to it, but probably not as emotionally charged as maybe I am.
I don't have the nasty experiences to have to.
And see, I was lucky. I had my parents, like, even right now, if we were struggling, we could always go back.
Right.
We can't now because there's kids, but, you know, the door would be there to get us back on our feet. But again, that's why I'd be like, okay, you can come back to get on your feet. And then it's, you know, let's figure it out. Like you said, 3 months, whatever. So yes, but to an extent, at least for us.
So somewhat related, my middle child, who I went on the zoo trip with, he told my wife that he was going to buy a house right next door to us so that he could always come visit us.
That's nice.
Isn't it?
Will it always be nice though?
He'll change it in a few years.
My parents bought a house right down the road from my brother when he was in his early 20s, and I remember back then thinking like, God, my parents live right there. But now my in-laws live like 2 streets over from me, and it's awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we're looking at moving up there too.
Out where I live?
Yeah, well, up north, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were up there before, and
North
we
of
moved
the
down
wall.
here.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we moved down here, and we still want to go up north. Like, that's just, I don't know. We like the area, but
Where at?
McKinney, Allen,
Keep going.
Melissa,
Keep going.
Anna.
up in that area.
Yeah, come out there.
Yeah, we will.
Love to have you.
No, I got to pack snacks in my car whenever.
But then there's this
visit
awesome
Justin.
park in Rockwall.
Sack lunch.
Have you been to it with your kids yet? way off topic because we never do that here. But in Rockwall, there's a park that's like a freaking castle and dinosaurs and sand pit.
In Rockwall?
Yeah, in Rockwall.
No. I know of one in Rowlett, but not Rockwall.
Maybe I'm thinking of Rowlett because it starts with an R.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've slept, so I don't. Well, I haven't slept. That's the problem. Somebody Google it.
I am.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, is that it?
Huh?
Yeah, maybe. There's like big old dinosaur stuff.
Dinosaurs.
I don't know. Oh, that's another.
Oh, yeah.
So before we get in, that
There's
one.
John's son.
Yes, that's it right there.
in the
Yeah.
Picture. That's
Oh, wow, that does look like
right.
Yeah, that place. Is that Rowlett or is that Rockwall?
Rowlett.
See, that's exactly what I said. Don't make fun of my French accent.
I
am so sorry for anybody who listens to us in France. I don't have a French accent. I said, don't make fun of my French accent. Rockwall, Rowlett. But then I apologize to our people in France who are listening.
Oh, that's true. We have listeners in France.
We do have listeners over in the UK.
We are international.
I do apologize. My accent is terrible, but
We might just cut that.
I'm gonna leave that. Yeah, that's okay.
Every time I hear y'all talk about us being international, I think of
House pancakes?
no,
You do now.
I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone. Yeah, every time.
That's a good movie. The Proposal with what's his name and what's her nuts?
I know what you're talking about. Alaska.
Yeah. Betty
We
White
talked
is
about Alaska. I
hilarious
think
in
of that movie.
too.
Ooh, we're going
yeah.
down a rabbit hole of weirdness. Now. This is good.
Oh man, great. All right, yeah. Let's steer back on the topic.
Well, thank you for that question. That was a good one.
Whoever
I'd be
that
interested-
was.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
There's more to
know.
be said, but yeah.
I mean, there's always more to be said.
And it's so nuanced because, like I said, it comes up with like how you yourself were brought up, and are you determined to repeat that, circle for better or for worse?
Yep.
Are you wanting to be a better person than your parents, or you want to be a worse person than your parents? Do you need the money? Where there's,
What a weird stance to take.
There's just so much that
wanna be
goes
worse than my parents.
into deciding that.
And you know what else I'm actually really curious about now that we are international? For those of you who are overseas, I want to hear your opinions.
On that, yeah.
Yeah, so find us on Facebook. Send us a message. Find us on really anything. Patreon is there. So we have Patreon, we have Facebook. Reach out to us, let us know, because I'm actually really curious.
I think in the United States, there's this whole, people are still trying to sell the American dream, right? All you got to do is go to college,
it's still alive.
get a job, and you can be successful. But I think that has slowly faded off. But I think there's a lot of people, all across the world who, it's just no, we all just live together for, decades, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's what fascinated me with Korea when I was there. Is if this was old school culture, and there's a lot of families who still do it, but the daughters would still live in the house until they were married. They weren't allowed to. And it's stuff like that is I find that fascinating. I love learning about the Korean culture while I was
Smells like
there.
misogyny, but
Yeah.
Amazing. It was just and it was great. And then when you're instead of retirement homes, you come back and live with your kids, and that's just the whole. And it's just I don't know, it's completely different. And I loved learning as much as I could while I was there.
Yeah.
And it was just fascinating. So I really do want to hear about what about in France or in Britain or Ireland or Australia or wherever you guys are from, how is it for you guys? I really do want to know.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's
Even if
different
we don't,
everywhere,
even if you don't want us to share it on the show, I still want to read it. I'm very curious.
I agree.
And then, so we'll get into part 2 because I know you guys had a lot. So let's try not to complain too much.
Who's complaining about
what?
Well, what you guys wanted to talk about, because you're like, oh, I had a busy weekend with this, and I've got stuff to say. So let's remember we're not a complain cast.
I don't know if you can complain.
Wait,
about
is
what
this a
we're talking
criticism
about.
that we've gotten?
I have no idea.
Is somebody saying that we're complaining too much?
Yeah, I am right now. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm telling you right now. No, but again, I don't have much to say because I do want to coach hockey. I love hockey. I want to be a goalie coach. I went and got certification, all that stuff with USA Hockey. I just want to be in hockey.
To be a coach or to be a player?
Oh yeah, to be a coach. My knee
right
won't
on.
let me play anymore. Neither will my fat. So, but you guys,
Doctors call a little bit of a weight problem.
yeah. Well, a little bit was 100 pounds. No, I'm just kidding. No. So for you guys, though, I know you wanted to talk about kids sports. I'm all for it because I'm definitely going to get my kids into it. So what did you guys want to bring up for your kids sports? I definitely want to hear the stories or what you wanted to talk about, or whoever wanted to go for like.
I'll start off on this.
Justin, this is all you for the first time.
Yeah, yours is pretty fresh.
Where's the confetti cannon?
That's why it's fresh. Okay.
Anytime you start from now on, I want a confetti cannon to go off because you never go first.
Okay, so I'm the one that brought this up because my daughter had her softball.
Was it you? I thought it was.
No, he's soccer. They're enemies. We're softball. I think that's how sports works, right?
I mean, the ball's almost the same.
See,
size.
That's the point I wanted to make. Before my daughter got into sports,
you're right. It was you. I'm sorry.
Got into softball. I was the guy that everybody was excited to go see a game, and I would walk up and go, "You going to watch the sports ball game?" And then they'd go, "Fuck off. That's not
sports
fun at all."
ball.
Yeah, because I'm a
Did
jackass.
say that to you?
No,
I said that to other people. Because yeah. The look you're giving me right now is the one that I deserve for being the guy that I was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm a movie video game guy. I'm not a sports guy. But
explains everything.
I do like playing sports video games. Those are fun sometimes. But my daughter got into softball this year. And I've raised her as being a movies, video games, cartoons kid. So she's enjoying it, but only so much. And some of these kids, I can see since the first game, I remember specifically watching one of the kids mess up like the slightest bit. And she, in front of everybody on second base, punched herself in the face, grabbed her hair, yanked it out, and cried.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. And I elbow my wife and I go, "Did you see what she's doing? Like, I'm concerned. Should we go find her parent, talk to her?" Like, that's a lot. That's just a lot of stress, man. I see. What?
I can contribute to this conversation. I'm excited. Go ahead, buddy.
Is that why you don't have any hair?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
All right, go on.
No, I see the kids. Okay, so what made me send the message the other day? We were at the finals, the championships. I still don't know the terms. We've been doing this for weeks now. Yeah.
Whatever.
So we're at the last round of games.
Rookie.
And the Ricky?
You're a rookie. You don't know the terms
I'm a
yet.
rookie. I'm a rookie dad sports
Yeah,
parent,
it's fine.
Sure.
Don't worry about it. It's cool.
But every time our team, we lost this game. We were up against the second in the league, I guess, the second place team, and they destroyed us. Like it was a good game, but we had one inning
For them. For them. It was good. It was a good game for them. Yeah.
We had one inning in particular where we were on defense and we caught a pop fly. Out. We got somebody out on first, out. And the next one struck a kid out, and it was like the most phenomenal inning to watch. It was so cool. But then after that, it went back into the way it was, and kind of reality kicked in, and we go, this team is so much more developed than we are. And every time one of the kids on our team did anything, good or bad, they would look to the stands for their parents for like approval. Mm-hmm. Except for my kid. My kid is in the outfield picking up grass and playing, like checking the stability of the grass and like just kind of looking around, head down. Like at one point the coach goes, well, she yelled my kid's name, and in any other moment I'd be like, hey, that's my kid.
Yeah.
But I was like, fucking, what is she doing? I totally understand it. I'm like, but the game's over, and I watch the kids kind of disperse and go to their parents, and the ones that are like really, it's funny because there's a couple kids that are really, really into it on their own. There's a couple kids that are really, really into it clearly because their parents want them to be, and they feel the pressure of it. My kid is just here to have fun. And her one of her best friends is on the team, and that kid is hilarious and goofs off as much as my kid does. And she's out in the infield dancing and just having a good time. And I like envy these kids because the other ones. Oh, furthermore, through all this, I got a haircut today, and the lady that there's a point. Hold on, the lady that cut my hair, she said she was 24 years old, and she played softball. It just came up kind of naturally in conversation, but she played softball, and she really injured herself really bad, lost scholarships and like all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, was it even worth it? Like, I mean, nothing wrong with what she's doing for a living, but now she says she's got a kid and her husband wants 2 more and all this stuff. I'm like, man, if her parents hadn't worked her so hard to where she like screwed herself up,
right?
You know, like, and I only put it in those terms because I had a boss who did the same thing to his son, and he's like, yeah, my son, we've had to have a couple surgeries, but man, he's really gonna make it this season. I'm like, dude,
right. Yeah,
he's ruined himself his junior year. year. He's not going to college. Like, I don't get a lot of this. But then when I watch my daughter and she's after the game, I'm like, you did fucking good. Like, she didn't. She did fine. She had fun, but that's all I wanted her to do.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of, well, hold on. It's heartbreaking to me because I hate watching all those kids struggle when this really is just a game. Especially this isn't even a league for the school or anything like that. It's by the city, and they're just kind of loosey-goosey with the whole thing. So, like, the stakes are low, and the parents are putting so much pressure on this, and I don't know what to think of it. I had another point to that.
I have a really interesting story for you. I'm going to wait.
I remember what it was before you get to that.
No, I'm going to wait because I want to hear John too.
What bothers me about when my daughter's just having fun, it always reminds me of when you and I used to play foosball all the time, and everybody is real into it, and we're having a good time. You got a teammate, and I'm probably the weakest link, but I'm trying my ass off, and I still end up going, well, I'm just doing it for the fun. You'd get so pissed. You'd get so mad at me. Like,
we're not here to have fun.
That's exactly right. You're like, we get to do this twice a day, you motherfucker. Like, so I hate the idea that maybe my kid appears to at least not be pulling her weight on a team thing. I'm a big believer in if you're on a part of a group, a team, a cult, doesn't matter. Like, pull your weight, like, do your part and be a part of this. Really be in it. If you're gonna do it right. I'm like a big fan of that. But at the same time, I don't want to put any pressure on my kid over something that's so like she's smart. Like, she's gonna go far with that, not this. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that there's two really good points there. She's smart. She's not gonna go anywhere with this because she
could though. Before my wife's hold on, I'm gonna interrupt because my wife's gonna listen to this. She goes, she's really good and she's trying hard.
And what I mean to say, and I mean to follow that up with, like the odds, of becoming an elite athlete.
The odds, yeah.
Like versus just like studying and having a successful career. Like it's two very very different.
It's like putting all your interest in the lottery that you have a little bit of control over.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's a really good point, and I think a lot of parents forget that. And then two. There's a term for it. You said like this league is put on by the city. They're loosey goosey. It's rec. It's a recreation team, right? So like all these parents and kids who are like, or mainly the parents who are like taking it super serious, they should probably put their kid in like a club or select league if that's what they really want.
Yeah.
But that comes with a whole other set of dynamics that they probably aren't prepared for. The parents aren't, and the kids to a degree as well.
Yeah. And I don't want to like whine about the whole thing. There's a lot of really talented kids. It is a whole lot of fun for them, and it's fun to watch.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting for me to watch how our team and our coaches and our parents all handle this situation, and then the team that's kicking our ass, how those adults and all them handle the situation. Like, for instance, the one that we played that game, I think was the same one we played a couple weeks ago, and they have a boombox, and they'll play like in between stuff. They do it when they bring a new batter out. Yeah, where they play a little tune, and to me that's just distracting as hell for the pitcher. I think that should probably be done away with. But like in between stuff, like when they're just warming up and stuff, they're playing like the YMCA and shit that you hear at a reception at a wedding. Like everybody, including our team's having a good time.
Right. Yeah.
So, but that team who travels with those people and that not a bunch of pressure, plays so well. Like it's fun, it's interesting, but yeah, like I was watching the whole thing going, man, some of this is kind of a bummer to watch.
Yeah,
man, you are gonna just mind bomb like I did when I tell you this.
Okay,
John,
I want to mind bomb,
dude. I'm telling you, dude.
I didn't mean to cut him. Do you have something else or?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead, Cap.
Oh, I mean, like, no, I have my own sports.
Yeah, sorry. So I thought he was reacting to you. I didn't.
Yeah, I was reacting to him, but I have my own sports.
I know I'm taking care of our Instagram right now, but I didn't miss his story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I coached both of my boys in soccer.
Best coach you know.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Starting at 3 years old, we've and it started. What got us interested in it? My son was 3 or 2, maybe, for the 2014 World Cup. For those that are like really into the beautiful game, they'll remember this game with the Netherlands. Robin van Persie had just like.
Is that what they call it?
What?
The beautiful game?
The beautiful game, yeah.
Okay.
Robin van Persie had like one of the most amazing headers that he scored in that World Cup. And I was so excited to show everybody. And my oldest son, again, he was 2 or 3 at the time. I literally came in and sat everybody down on the couch and said, watch this.
Nice.
And my son goes, he hit it with his head. He got a goal. And so, I started looking, he was in gymnastics at the time. I started looking around where he could play soccer, but he couldn't do it he had to have been 2 because he couldn't do it until he turned 3. So I put him on a team, and I wasn't super happy with it. So the next time I was like, you know what? I'm going to start coaching. And so I coached him the next season. And I had a whole bunch of kids. And don't let anybody tell you that coaching 3-year-olds is not hard, because it is really difficult.
Hard. Sounds hard.
But we would get, I teach him the basics and stuff like that. I played a little bit of soccer, but nothing, like club or professional or anything like that. But I teach him the basics. And then when it came down to the games, this is where I messed up. I'd be yelling instructions to them. They're 3 years old. Like, they don't remember where they were, 20 seconds ago. And my son in particular, because I knew he was really good, I guess I was kind of harder on him. I would put more direction on him, and but after every game, hey, go get the ball, blah blah. And after every game, I'd ask him well, hey, what did you think of today's game? And one time, this just broke me. He said, well, all you do is yell at me. And I felt so awful. I mean, I felt like the smallest person on earth. And so we got home, and I got down to his level, and I apologized, and I was like, from here on out, it's going to be different. We're going to because again, it's a rec league. It's they're not being scouted by Manchester or anything while they're there.
But if they were,
if they were,
and so I apologized and said, hey, it's going to be different from here on out. And so from there on out, I started some rules. I said the rule number 1 is have fun. Above all, I don't care what else happens, just have fun. And rule number 2 is no hands, because you can't use hands in soccer.
Really?
Yeah. And so from then on, he was having a blast. He was scoring goals left and right. He was all up and down the field. And same thing with the other kids. But I was still yelling direction at the, hey, do this, do this, do this. It wasn't until he got into club soccer. He started playing for FC Dallas at 5 years old, and
it's not a bunch of grown-ups and him.
I know what you meant, but it's just the rookie of the year.
Started playing for.
I pictured it in my head. It was fantastic.
And
the hockey commercial with the little 6-year-old kid, time to save for college.
The coach would tell us hey, other than cheering, you do not give them any instructions. He goes, I don't give them instructions. He goes, it's up to them to learn, to execute what I've been teaching them over the week.
I wish our coaches had put that rule in for us. Yeah, because there's family members. There's a mom and a sibling and some other people who've got alternate opinions about what the kid needs to do on the field, and the coach is not quite as loud as the others, and so I absolutely wish that that's what ours will do.
And so and the way he explained it, because I was just a rec coach. He's a club coach, so he had to go through the U.S. certification and everything to be able to even do that. And so the way he explained it is that if I'm just giving them instructions nonstop, they're not learning. All they're learning is how to take instruction. They're not learning how to play as a group, as an individual. I was like, oh my God. Yes, he's absolutely right.
Makes sense.
And so when I started coaching my younger son, it was the same thing. But it was way different. And so I started with the same thing. I said, parents, stay out of it. You can cheer, but other than that, don't give them instruction. I'm not giving them instruction. They need to just play, and above all, again, have fun. These are the only rules that I give them.
So after all these years, you're willing to say that I was right in the foosball game, or?
No, not in foosball.
Okay. Foosball serious business.
That was the foosball was the only thing that got me away from the crushing weight of reality at my job at the time.
That's God, that's fair. Now I feel bad.
Right?
Sorry, I should have played harder.
You should. That wooded green is no joke, man.
But
it's true.
I will say that since then it's been great. They've both been playing soccer in rec leagues. My son decided he wanted to stop playing club soccer. He wanted to do dance lessons, and so kind of broke my heart because he's really good at soccer. But I was like, you know what, bud? If this is what you want to do,
he's really good at dancing, though, right?
But to help to soothe you for a second, dancing could help him be better at soccer.
Oh, it's true.
Because for hockey, we encourage them to go and do figure skating.
Yeah, I've always
I
thought,
get it.
yeah.
I totally
So
get it.
don't be too hard on
No,
yourself.
and I'm not, but like you can only afford so much.
That's
financially.
different. Yeah, that's
afford
different,
So much
yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
Because club soccer, I mean, I'm sure there's parents who are listening. Like that's a whole different level. It's like practice 2 to 3 times a week. There might be 4 or 5 games over a weekend, and if you don't show up to one, your commitment starts to get questioned. Again, these are like 5 to 7 year olds. He stopped playing club when he was 7.
Yeah.
Because it was so much. I think he just got burnt out by it super quick. So he got back into rec this year, and he scored some banger goals, and it's just so fun. He has a great time, and that's the only thing that matters to me. I think the worst part of sports, honestly, is the parents. The parents are probably the worst, easily, because like I've had people come up to me, again, coaching 3-year-old soccer, like, hey, how come my kid isn't starting? I'm like, I don't know, because I just like pulled their names out of a hat. Like have you seen them? It's herd ball. They're all chasing in a group. There's no, there's no tactics here. Like I'm not punishing anybody. This is who I've just decided. Whoever got here first is like how I would decide who would go out onto the field first.
My daughter is she's
blow your mind too.
in the batting lineup. She's in a position right behind a kid who has expressed complete non-interest in this whole venture. My daughter's in the car. She's like, yeah, the girl in front of me, she says she hopes she gets struck out because she just wants this to get over with.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, should I go to the coach with this? Like, a position's a position. And again, the hurt ball, it's like, she'll be fine. She'll play next week, and it's not going to upset her, but she's also in a position that, again, this is her first year playing. And I've expressed this to my wife before. It's like, I feel like if they put her in a different position, she'd have more interest. She wouldn't be playing with the grass. She'd have something to be.
But also, softball is way too slow a sport for kids. To be honest.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. But my wife was quick to remind me, like, like it keeps going, right?
Oh, hockey.
Well, hold on. And then, but my wife is quick to remind me that she hasn't had enough experience yet to be put in a better position.
Sure.
So, but at the same time, like, she's playing with grass.
Right.
All right, hockey. Sorry.
No, so I don't have kids in sports yet, so I don't have too much to contribute. But when I was going through my coaching certification, I don't want to say the country, but it is overseas. And the reason I don't want to say the country is because I'll be wrong, and I don't want to like offend anybody. But for hockey overseas, it's completely different. Here in America, we teach competition. What's the score? Who's winning? Who's losing?
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
your best. Get here. No, overseas, it's what's the love of the sport.
Yeah.
They don't keep score. They don't care who does what
interesting.
position. They teach you to have fun with what you're doing. They want you to fall in love with the sport. So when you get into your teenage years, that's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. They encourage you to go play other sports. They encourage you to go out there and try. Because if you're a good athlete, it doesn't matter what sport you're going to play. If you're a good athlete, you're playing because you love the sport, you're going to do better.
I like that.
And because
that
of
makes
that, the parents are calmer. Everybody's just there to have fun, to see the kids. So it's a completely different culture.
Oh, yeah.
And the USA Hockey, they've learned this and heard about it, and they've sent people over there to study it. And they're now incorporating that to hockey here for kids. It's not about the score. It's not about the playtime. It's, did your kid have fun today? Mm-hmm. That's what matters.
That's cool. It's like learning the instrument before you start writing songs.
Exactly. So it's cool. Fall in love with what you're doing before you do it. Are you at this age? Go try other sports. See what you love to do. And here in the U.S., it's completely different. It's what's the score? Who's winning? It's completely different.
Well, and it's still
when
like
I heard that
even with the coach saying like, hey, we're going to these competitions. Like we'd go to traveling competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter. Like he's telling the parents, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. We're not going to win or lose.
Yep.
We're going to play different people to get different experiences.
Yep.
Yeah,
but the reason we left is because like I overheard like grown adults critiquing my 7-year-old son playing soccer. I was like, come on, dude. Like this isn't okay.
I was waiting for, I'll be honest, I was waiting for that the entire season, and the most I got was like she'd go up to bat and miss something, and they go
because they knew.
Yeah.
So
they
another
better than that.
Another interesting fact too, again, hockey, because that's all I know. In hockey, there's actually a rule where if you're a parent and you start yelling at the refs, the team gets a penalty, and there's a bench minor, and you guys send somebody to the box. So
hockey, I kind of like that,
because I'm not kidding you, hockey parents you guys think your sports are tough. Hockey parents are a level above that.
You're always looking for a fight.
Yeah, you're looking to fight. You're looking to like cuss the ref. It's always the ref's fault. So to keep it for the love of the sport, it's like, okay, you're getting a little too rambunctious. One, it's a penalty on your team. Like if that's your kid's team, somebody's going to the box.
Yeah.
Do it again, you can't come back to the arena.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's it. Like there's no third chance. It's one, okay, your team's penalized, 2, get out. And that's how it is.
There's soccer parents listening to this right now
And
going like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
If I paid for it, I'm going to the game.
And so no, you know,
but it
you
teaches
actually,
the love of what you're doing, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, oh, okay, hockey. If the kids don't love it, okay, fine, I still do. But that's why it's like, you know, it's interesting to hear overseas how they do things, because here it's just competition. Over there, it's what do you love to do?
Yeah,
and that's why you don't see a lot of. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that's why. But when you look at the NHL in particular, how many American players compared to overseas? It's because American players lose interest and they go on to something different.
and you actually brought up something interesting that I failed to.
My opinion
is that
disclaimer.
You know, it's always the ref's fault. Well, in a lot of these rec games or even club games, like the refs are like 13, 14, 15
they're just kids. Yeah.
And they're getting yelled at.
Yeah, that
like
sucks.
viciously by adults on, you know, from the coaches and from the parents, and it's just embarrassing. I don't understand how any adult can go to that, do something like that, and feel good about, you know, about themselves afterward.
What was the quote from Bane in the Batman movie? Like, I was born, like that kid's gonna grow
I was
up to
born
be
in
like
the darkness.
Fucking adults used to scream at me.
Oh, completely different quote.
Yeah, that's what Bane said to Batman. Fucking adults used to scream at me.
So I would say, I know we're not like an advice
My mom's name is
podcast,
Martha.
but I would say, as a parent, if you are a parent and your kid is in sports, and you've probably heard this if you're into sports, trust the process. You know?
Like
just let them go out and have fun. Unless you're playing club, even then, I'd even encourage it even more, because like those are coaches that took the time to get certified to be able to coach your kids.
Absolutely. I think one game in particular, I got frustrated with my daughter through the season, and I remember being shocked at myself. I'm like, I don't care about sports. Like, I hope she's having fun, but like, for me to be angry at this is so weird. The whole rest of the season, all I ever did was just sit back and let the coach do their thing. Like, there's 2, and there's 3 at one point, but they didn't always see eye to eye, but they always kind of resolved the issues themselves with what they learned through their experience and whatever. But like the parents in the crowd, I don't know, like just keep it down to a little bit of, you're doing great.
Yeah, exactly. Be encouraging.
Be encouraging. Yeah, there's no point to do anything else.
You guys okay if I added part 2 to this question?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Because you're in it now. So what happens if your kid loses interest? When would you notice that? And would you let them like, okay, change their mind, or would you force them to stay? Like, I'm curious.
Oh, so like if we actually just went through this. My middle child, he wanted to play soccer, but he wanted me to coach him. Now, I know I've said this before, my middle child is the strong-willed child, and when I coached him before, it would just end up in arguments between he and I, because like I'd need to pull him off. Like he'd be red-faced, just like sweating. I'm like, I need you to come off to like get some water before you pass out on the field. Like, I'm not trying to just like take you from the game. I would get so pissed. Anyway, he apparently loved it. Yeah, he wanted me to coach him. Like he said, the only way I'm gonna play soccer again is if you coach me. And I said, well, look, I don't think that we had a great time the last time I coached you. Why don't we do this? Why don't you play on a different team with another coach? And if you enjoy it and you are committed, then I will pick up coaching you and another team. He said, okay. Well, comes time for his first practice. I don't want to go to practice. I'm like, nope, sorry. And the same thing. First game. Oh, I don't want to go to my game. They're like, look, man, you committed to this and we paid for it. Even if you don't want to ever play soccer again, you at least have to play this season. That's that. After that, do whatever you want. We get you into something else, but you made a commitment and your teammates are relying on you.
That's what it comes down. There's a lesson in there about commitment to me.
Exactly.
I think if my daughter was having a real bad time, like if she just wasn't into it or something like that, I think at the age she's at now, I would. We pulled her out of tumbling when she was little. She just wasn't having a good time, and we were like, it's way out there in the next town. I don't want to fuck with it anyway.
Yeah.
So we just let that go. But she was little, and now at this point, I think I would really like try to convince her to like try to have fun with, try to have a good time. But if she was like, if she was smacking herself in the head and pulling her hair out, yeah, I'd pull her out of it. Like,
right? Yeah, like if there's something obviously emotionally damaging going on, then yeah. But
or
like,
I mean, there's other things too, but yeah, like if there's something that's worthwhile. But I think the point is, if they're like, nah, it's not really my thing. I'd rather stay home and watch cartoons. No,
right? Exactly.
That's not what you signed up.
Get your ass out there.
Yeah, when we started it, that was a big deal for me because I didn't think she'd be interested in it. So I was, my wife was like scrolling through her phone. She was like, "Hey, how would you like to sign up for this thing? Do you want to do softball?" And I was like, "Okay, do you know what softball is?" Like, I had to like really.
Yeah, the ball's not that soft.
Yeah, you know how many the little girls on the team were like, all of them with like sad eyes, being like, "It's not soft at all." I don't know why they call it. I'm like, yeah, I've seen 6 of you get hit this week. Like, but no, like, yeah, I'm a big fan of. If you're about to get into something, I want you to know. I want you to know like what this is about. Mm-hmm. Are you actually willing to commit? Because I want you to say, yeah, I'll commit. I'll stick with it the whole season. That way later I can go, when you say you're just not into it, I can go, you remember you told me. So
yeah.
Interesting.
How about you? What would you do?
I don't know.
Really?
There's so many factors that go in.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. Like, if you can tell they're just, maybe if they don't like the coach or a kid on the team, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. You go finish whatever it is you're doing. We'll look into it at the end of the season. But
my God, yeah.
If they're like hating it and they're always, like if it's hockey and they're always in the penalty box, okay, let's change it up. Or if they're just, I don't know, like you can just tell. Like for me, you learn your kids as you're growing up. So you can tell, you can pick up on those cues.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see those, you're like, okay, maybe we should have a talk and let's figure this out. See if you can finish the season. If not, okay, you know, it sucks because everything's expensive. But
yeah,
let's maybe look at it a different way. But again, they're only 2.5, so I've got at least another month or two.
So my son is playing hockey. Rec. He just finished up a season, but he didn't like the coach. Because the coach was just the first practice just made him run laps and just like do a few passing exercises here and there. But for the most part, he just had him run back and forth. And he's like, all I do is run. I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you got to get fit. You haven't played soccer in a long time. And he was like, well, the coach was telling us that we're out of shape. And like, I had to be like, well, is he right?
That's a good lesson too. Like, when are you just being defiant, and when is the person in authority have
right?
Point?
Exactly. Yeah. That said, I was not a fan of this coach because he would just be like, all right, big kick, now run fast. I'm like, okay, listen.
Oh, like talking down to kids?
No. Like he would like those were the tactics that he taught. Was like kick the ball as hard as you can and then run as fast as you can. And at 11 years old, they should be well beyond that. I'm not even talking about just like club soccer, like rec soccer. Like you should have a good grasp of soccer formula to play. So that said, we got him on a different team, and so he'll be starting that next week. But so that's the other thing. You might not find the right coach right away, and because his first club coach, he was kind of a hard ass. I mean, if he was late, he had to do push-ups, and if he talked back, quote unquote, he had to do push-ups. And my son does not respond to that. He's a big time, or I don't want to say advocate, but he responds much better to positive reinforcement than to punishments. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of there's like a question of that. Like, is it positive reinforcement or like leading with fear?
Right. Yes.
And I think
exactly.
It's case like everything. It's case by case. It's kid by kid. Like
exactly.
Some humans are going to be totally inclined to doing better work for somebody who's got the whip versus somebody who is actually going to give me praise and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think a lot of people kind of see it that way. They were like, no, I lead with fear, and that's that. If you're going to be on this team, you're going to have to fucking be a sheeple. So,
and that to say, like, we switched coaches, and he blossomed. He was already a good soccer player, but like he blossomed. He was doing stuff that was just like amazing, and it just took finding the right coach. So that's the other thing. Not an advice podcast, but.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us.
Again, these are just our opinions.
You also, in my experience, it does take finding the right coach to be the fit for your kid as well.
Yep.
I just realized like why people who listen to stuff like this get angry is because they can't argue. They can't get in there. They're like, these people just saying shit I don't agree with. Yeah. Just deal with it.
Everybody gets a participation trophy.
No, well, okay, hold on.
I am the man I am today because of the participation trophies I gained in my lifetime, Kevin.
I can understand teaching the love of the sport, but participation trophy for me is just no. I can't do it. No.
This is another conversation for another time. I love participation trophies.
Yeah, because you like to get under the skin and dig. Mm-hmm. That's why you've alienated like half our people already.
Yeah, well, that's what you guys are here for. I don't know.
To what?
I had a point, but
I'm a handsome one.
Yeah, I'm the cute one.
Oh shit! I have no reason.
No.
Dad jokes.
Do you want to dig into that, or should we save that for another episode?
No, I'm going to be dad jokes. No, I'm just I don't even remember what we were talking about now.
Participation trophies.
Yeah, I just no. Just for me, it's a no. It's a hard
old man
no.
talking point. That's all
Like,
it is.
If you're again, that comes back to teach the love of the sport. Why do you have trophies before you keep score? Like, wait till they're teenagers and then worry about, okay, yeah, if you want a trophy, go win the freaking game. Sorry. Oh, you played a sport. Here's a blue ribbon. Get out.
I have 2 participation trophies that I still have from growing up. One of them is for the Pinewood Derby from Cub Scouts, and I love it. It's cool looking. It's got like a little Indy car on top. It's made of gold. Well, not gold, but it's like it looks great. Uh-huh. And I've got a blue ribbon from field day from like 4th or 5th grade. And when I look at those, I don't go, I participated that day.
Okay, because I was just going to ask you, what do you think of when you see those trophies?
I fucking laugh because it is stupid, but I don't go like, this is what's fucking up our society.
Hold on, back up. Okay, you laugh because it's stupid that you got a participation trophy?
That they gave as a grown up, I can look at that and go, that's kind of silly that they gave me that. But like, I felt good at the end of the day.
I'm pretty sure you said stupid. Now I'm digging.
But also, hold on. But also, what you don't understand, like, yeah, I got a participation trophy. Fine. I participated. Yeah. But there's also kids that did really good that got a better trophy. They got something better. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving somebody a little bit of nod of like, hey, thanks for being here today. There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
It's called Gold Star.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's called, hey, thanks for being here today.
I think, again, it boils down between rec and club. Rec, sure, I think participation trophies are fine.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's different.
You know what I'm saying? Because like, there are kids who like may not ever get the chance to win a trophy. Yeah. And so I get that, but that can also give them the drive to want to do again. Play another season. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad that we're finally digging into some serious shit here, though.
We have done something serious every week.
Death, depression, everything.
Especially last week, that cartoon, dude.
Last week?
Last week was cartoon.
No,
was it like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, like a month ago. What is wrong?
All right, look at here. First of all, I haven't slept, but that we really dug. That was a serious episode. Well, you don't joke with cartoons.
Lion-O is way better than He-Man. So, no, I think what it is to me about the participation trophies is people get so riled up about it. And now that I'm a grown up and somebody who's somebody who got those stupid trophies, like, I don't look back at it and go, yeah, see, I was there. I'm worthy because I was there. I'm smart enough, and I would wager to say that most people that got one are smart enough to, at this point in their life, to look back and go, yeah, that was stupid. That was unnecessary. Like, if you want to say the city or the school or whoever passed out the participation trophies wasted that money, maybe there's a case to be made, sure. But like, I also know that I've met a lot of kids when I was a kid and grown-ups now that never had anything else. They were in a shitty household growing up, surrounded by shitty siblings and shitty parents. And then they went to school and they had a nice teacher that handed them a piece of metal and said, hey man, thanks for being here today. They might look at that stupid little piece of metal and go, yeah, Miss Johnson, she was really cool. I'm really glad that I got to participate in that. That's probably as far as that goes. But everybody likes to say that these participation trophies fucked up society, and that's just not true.
That part's not, no.
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
That's the case that's always made, and every time I hear it, I'm like,
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. And again, like, okay, so my middle child, he never played club. So all his trophies were, handed to him by the city. And he freaking loves them. Yeah. It's awesome. My older child played both club and rec. He probably couldn't tell me which one is which. He's got them all bunched together. So he's got them all bunched together, both his club trophies and his rec trophies. And he probably couldn't tell you which one is which, but he proudly displays all of them. Mm-hmm. He knows, that he had fun while he was doing it. I think that's really just the most important thing.
My daughter got a medal from being in the championship. I don't actually is this weekend. And I was like, y'all just lost the game. She's like, yeah, but we won the first one in the thing, so we got it. So that's participation. She's like, yeah. I was like, all right. As we're going out to the car, she was telling me about. So now I got 7. I got the one that I won for the music memory challenge that we did. I've got the one for this. I've got the one for that. I've got the one that you gave me that you got at the work thing for linking paper clips.
Oh yeah.
I was like, well, you didn't earn that. She's like, yeah, but I got that. Like,
true.
But it's mine.
Yeah. It's like
I'm gonna make myself
it's a trinket.
I think I'm gonna make myself a hypocrite here. So again, hockey, because that's what I do. We didn't win the championship that year, but we didn't get participation trophies. Instead, what our team did is we did like hockey pucks for the most intense person, the most goal. Like, so it wasn't from the league, it was from the team. So to me, it was something different, but I guess it could technically be classified as a participation. But it came from the team instead of the league. So like that is one thing. Like I still have that puck because I had the most shutouts in the league. But it's like, I only had 3, so it's not really that good. But it was still something cool, but it didn't come like it's, I don't know. I guess it was more special because it came from the team itself and we had that.
I actually did the same thing.
I like
so it's different. So I don't know.
But I think it was just like a night. I didn't want to I didn't impart it on them because like I wanted them to have like a trophy or anything. Like I was just really proud of the way they played, and I just wanted them to like know that like there's something special like from me. So like I framed some Green Lantern because
I remember telling you about that.
The team was named after the Green Lantern. So I framed some Green Lantern comic books. And then I gave them each a Green Lantern power.
I thought you were going to say you framed the movies, and I'm like, those are the only ones they ever sold.
And then we went out to pizza buffet, and they had that, and they got to take them home. So like, hopefully, some of them still have them, and it's cool wall art that they can hang on to.
You did something you said stirred something up in me that's contradictory to my feelings about.
See, that's what we do. We're just hypocrites.
Yeah. No.
Unhypocritical dad life.
My feelings about the participation trophy, but my feelings about telling everybody they're special. I know that's not what you said, but how you said it made me think of that. Stop telling everybody that they're special. Like that's not you. I don't know why I'm looking at you.
Yeah, because I didn't say that.
Yeah. Stop telling everybody that they're special because they're not. None of us are special.
Okay, now you're starting to get like existentialist, and we're talking about kids sports here.
But I think those conversations go hand in hand, right?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Everybody's special in their own way.
And I think you just proved to us that you are special.
I need a friend. No, but your thing, I do like the
if it comes from the team, it's different.
Yeah, that's more of an intimate thing than. But I mean, sure, like if you're kicking ass and taking names, you deserve a lot of credit. But like, from the league or whatever. But your team knows you in a particular way. They know that you've hustled more than anybody else. You've done this or that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It means more that way instead of, I got a blue ribbon because I played. That was the end of the story.
Okay.
I didn't have anything other than that.
Played.
Yeah, it's like that. To me, that's what a participation trophy is. Like, I got this because I played. I got this because I played my butt off for this team, and they recognized that I got that. Like, that's different. Completely different. But again, that's what you fall in love with the sport doing.
Well, I know this is sort of a touchy subject for some people, some parents, and people in general. So to our listeners, please hand in your dissertations on your thoughts on it. I know there's some very, very passionate opinions on this. And
there's a lot of people that have just paused it and haven't gone back to it.
We're gonna watch. People are gonna be like, "Oh hell no, they disagree."
No, but I would love to see it, especially like I'd love and it because it changes so much. How passionate you are based on like how old your kid is, what sport are they playing.
It does take a lot into it too,
club versus rec, stuff like that. It was are the parents living vicariously through their kids, or is the kid just wanting to do something that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's gonna change that, and so I'm curious to like how it is like for everybody else. What's y'all's opinions? What are y'all's views on it? And I know this episode has run like a long time, but if we haven't bored you to death,
definitely.
Let us know, and I'd love to even bring it up at a future episode.
Oh, definitely. I think everything is worth revisiting in like season 5. Maybe that's what we'll do. Season 5. Let's rehash.
Let's
season
recap.
1.
This is going to be the one that live shows 10 years from now. They're going to like come up to you in public and be like,
Yeah.
hey, that thing you said back in season 1 about sports, fuck off, okay?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
No, okay. All my bringing this up and complaining and all that, I do want to say it was a very good experience. Turned my opinions of all this thing around. We had a great time. My daughter had a really good experience. She's interested in playing again in the future.
Cool.
So
Yeah, she's having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was all in all fantastic. I'm really glad. I brought it up because as we were watching the thing, I'm like, man, this is a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So
Absolutely.
Well, thank you everybody for listening in. This is episode 8, but we do appreciate you guys everywhere around the world. We can say that now. It's actually kind of cool to say that.
It is very cool.
Still surreal. It hasn't hit me quite yet, but appreciate you guys listening to us. If you want to support us, check us out on Patreon. If you're not ready for that step, it's fine. Like, give us a review, send us messages, do anything you want. Like, spread the word. Everything that we do, we are grateful for everything. I know we wouldn't be here without you. I'm sure Justin and John feel the exact same. Like, we're just very humbled and appreciate every single one of you. So thank everybody.
Thank you. See you next
thank
week.
you very much.
We will see you again in 2 weeks.
You know what we need?
I do know what we need. Do you know what we need?
Peanuts.
I think we need a sign off.